As the stories of deserting soldiers are reported on back home, more soldiers begin to arrive.
My name is David. I was formerly with the U.S. Navy.
I was a U.S. Marine. I was infantry.
I can't see my family or friends.
Nikolai Dudek and his wife Jamie snuck across the Canadian border.
If you use your social security number in the wrong place, and they'll find out where you are, and they'll send a posse for you.
After living in hiding for more than a year, Joshua Key and his wife Brandy brought their 4 children.
We all thought there was a purpose to it, to rid the world of evil. But once we got there, soon they found out there wasn't weapons of mass destruction. They had no military.
In Canada, the growing contingent of American soldiers is generally warmly received.
Thank you. War is death, peace is life. The time for a change is now.
Upset that marijuana seems legal, then illegal again, the pot community mobilizes. Across Canada, pro-pot rallies unfold. In Toronto, an unprecedented massive street march takes place.
There's something especially Canadian about what you're doing today?
Well, we're allowed to enjoy our rights and freedoms, to a certain extent.
You're rolling and protesting at the same time?
Oh, yeah!
Could it be on that spring afternoon that the police and the stoners truly had no problem getting along?
We follow and enforce the law as it is, but we apply discretion when appropriate.
What are they going to do, arrest 5,000 people?
Is Canada a nation of stoners? I just want to live free for 5 minutes. I want you to push it with me. I want, if your place where you live doesn't have a hemp store, open up a hemp store. If your place where you live does not have a cannabis compassion club, open up one of those. If your place where you live doesn't have a bring your own bud cafe, open up one of those. If you get busted, who cares? It's better to get busted out in the open in the light of day with all your friends around and everyone looking than one by one in the middle of the night. We're here. We're high. Get used to it.
And they did open cafes, even though marijuana was clearly back to being illegal. In Montreal, pot activists opened a cafe right across from a police station.
Well, that could be trouble for all of us now. There's a cop station right down there. I hope we get a good shot of that.
Their leader, Hugo Saint-Onge, says he'd like to get himself arrested so he can challenge the law.
We are their neighbors. papier ici pour ceux qui en désirent. OK, bonjour. Bienvenue à ce samedi 29 novembre. Je coupe le ruban.
Welcome to the Pot Buzz Cafe, the Cafe Buzz, Canna Buzz Cafe, Rasta Clot Cafe, the Buzz Clot, Rasta Master.
Only hours after the cafe opens, the police arrive for a bust. Perhaps without meaning to, the police arrest a stroke victim. Only after arresting him do police realize that Richard Rice is semi-paralyzed, but they take him away anyways.
We're going to go back every day that he's open, and if there's people present, then we're going to accuse them for simple possession of narcotics.
Across the street, the cafe stays open. A few hours later, Richard Rice is released after being charged with possession of marijuana. In French, he screams, "We will win," and is escorted away.
We're here actually at our grand opening to prove that cannabis laws in Canada are liberal enough whereby we can smoke pot out in the open.
In Hamilton, a week after opening, the Pot Cafe has its first arrest. When police arrive, a 70-year-old woman keeps smoking marijuana. Police from 2 law enforcement agencies surround her and proceed with her arrest. During the course of her booking, the woman has a stroke.
It's okay. No, she's not falling for nothing. She's not falling.
Police quickly call an ambulance, and she is taken away.
Dan, I'm checking your blood sugar, darling, okay? So it's gonna hurt. It's a needle poke in the finger, okay?
Vancouver. The pot block is on fire. Several stores and Blunt Brothers, Canada's largest marijuana cafe, go up in flames.
Well, it would appear that somebody poured gasoline into the basement of Cabbages and Kingston, and from there led a trail of gasoline out into the alleyway where there were several incendiary devices lit in dumpsters to guarantee that there would be plenty of flames.
Someone broke into that building, went down, took a gas can, filled the boiler up, and then dragged the gas out and lit the dumpsters outside on fire. The boiler exploded, and then the whole thing went down.
Something is going on in Vancouver. A matter of weeks after the pot block fire, the center of Vancouver's pot commerce moves to Commercial Drive, a more upscale and mainstream area, where it joins the Kind, the pot store.
Well, much like the Phoenix, the fire has helped us rise out of the ashes and be reborn into something new.
Now, there are several marijuana stores and cafes in a strip devoted to marijuana.
They just blatantly went for it, just decided to do what everybody really wanted to do. You have a huge community of people who want to pay their taxes and aren't allowed to participate.
Apparently, in clear view of the police, Canada's burgeoning marijuana industry is commercializing on Vancouver's Commercial Drive. And the marijuana fever continues. Just north of Toronto, police make a surprising discovery: a giant industrial grow-op. The grow operation is the size of a factory. In fact, it is a factory. It's the old Molson's Brewery. The discovery sets off a grow-op panic in Canada, and police announce that 1 in every 100 houses in Toronto may in fact be a marijuana grow-op.
Today on Crime Stoppers, I thought we'd talk about how to determine if there is a grow house in your neighborhood, and here's Detective Jeff Zammit.
The place will appear vacant most of the time. The house will be kept in darkness with the windows all covered up so you can't see in. There will be people coming and going late at night, and in winter, you may notice that it's the only house with a roof free of snow.
What about smell, though? Do grow houses typically give off a certain aroma?
They do tend to smell like marijuana. If you know where a grow house is, or even suspect where one is, call Crime Stoppers.
If I was to see someone smoking marijuana in Toronto right now, should I call Crime Stoppers? Is that a good idea? Would be appropriate?
Fair question.
They absolutely refused at the outset to consider the one thing that would solve their problem right away. The minister was very clear. We don't want to talk about legislation that would make it legal or regulated or taxed, because that would in fact solve the problem.
I don't want to get into the philosophy of decriminalization, as to the kind of simplicity as you legalize and all goes away. This is a problem here with organized crime.
Everyone in society is a victim.
Those who do not remember history are doomed to repeat it. We had an experiment in the 1920s and 30s that was called the Volstead Act, alcohol prohibition. Thousands of people were killed in gang violence. Hundreds of thousands of people were corrupted, including police officers with bribes and various kind of underworld activities. Speakeasies blossomed, and in fact we had an entire network of the criminal underworld established within merely 13 years that tainted America. We could solve all the social problems associated with organized crime, with the dangers that the police have associated, by legalizing, regulating, and taxing this product.
Perhaps no one was listening, but back in Vancouver, the mayor will make a startling announcement.
I would legalize this, and I would tax the living hell out of it. And I would ensure that every single dollar, every dollar of that tax went into the healthcare system. Every dollar. I believe that we'd be in a recession if we didn't have BC Bud.